Okay, something I've been meaning to do, and this is probably like an update to a video from like 2000 and I want to say 13 possibly. I want to do a video where I talk about the sword collection that I have. It's not a big sword collection, but it is a collection of some big swords, if that makes any sense. So we're going to start off with like a small knife that I have, and then move on all the way up to Frostmourne, the biggest sword I believe in my collection, and we'll just go through and have a look at each and every one of them. So let's get into it. So like I said, the first one we're going to be looking at is a knife. So this knife is a bit of a dragon knife, if you will. If you can see it, it's a bit small, but the hilt is of a dragon, and basically the entire body is of like two dragons and all that jazz, so it's really, really cool. If we open it up, it is quite small, but still it's quite light, and it is a little bit on the pointy side, especially up on the tip. So obviously if something were to happen and I were to actually lunge, it could actually do a lot of damage. So that's the dragon knife. Let's move on now to the next one. So the next largest sword that I have in my collection would be this Chinese sword. I'm not entirely sure what it's called, but it's the kind of sword that you would find in like a Chinese drama set in like the historical ages of like the Qin dynasty or any of the other dynasties in fact. So it is like one of only two swords that I have that actually has a hilt. Not a hilt, a sheath rather, something to actually hold some sort of container for it. And in this sheath there are some Chinese words that I can't read. I actually can't read Chinese at all. So there's that, and on the other side it's I think different words, so I don't really know what it says there, but either way that's the idea with that. And obviously on the blade we do have on one side some Chinese words, if you can read that, and then also on the other side we have some sort of dragon constellation, possibly something to do with the 12 animals sort of story, the zodiac story if you will. So this is the idea with the Chinese sword. It's nice and light and quite swingable, obviously with just one hand, although sometimes when I'm just swinging it around after a while, even my hand starts to get a little bit tired, so that's okay. Anyway, let's move on now to the next sword. Alright, now we're moving away from the sort of niche, almost unknown kind of blades into something that is a bit more in the realm of popular culture. Now, this is Genji's Dragon Sword, and Genji's Dragon Sword has sound and noise and lights up and all that jazz, so that's really, really cool. Now, of course, being a dragon sword, it is a two-handed weapon, so that's really, really exciting. And I just turned it off. Whoops. So normally when you turn it off, you can put it back into its sheath like so, and then hang it up on the wall. So this is the second of the swords that I have. I did a unboxing video of this one recently, as of like maybe last year, sometime around then. So you can go check it out if you want, but here it is. Let's move on now to another big sword. Okay, so the next sword is going to be this sword. Now you may be thinking, wow, this looks like a very generic large sword, doesn't it? It does, but as you may already see, the hilt, this is Longclaw. This is Jon Snow's big ass sort of Valyrian steel sword. It's very nice. It is the most recent addition to my collection. It's actually the reason why I made this video in the first place, just to apprise everyone of the fact that I am in fact now in possession of Longclaw. So real excited. It's nice and light. Like, it's big enough, like compared to the smaller swords, that it could really, like, you could really swing it around and do some memes. But at the same time, it's light enough, despite the fact that it's made of metal, which is nice. It's light enough that you can also swing it with just one hand. So just doing that is fine. Doing that is fine, but generally speaking, you probably want to use both hands with this kind of sword. Now, strangely enough, when I bought it, it didn't come with a scabbard, which was annoying, or a sheath, I guess, if you want to call it like that, but that's okay. So this is a Valyrian steel sword, and I do believe everyone agrees, nothing cuts like Valyrian steel. And finally, this sword requires no introduction because I'm pretty sure most people who have subscribed to this channel would recognize this in a heartbeat. Frostmourne, the Sword of the Lich King. This weapon is so damn unwieldy. It is massive on a scale that is just totally like incomparable to the other swords that I have in my collection. If we have a look, if we compare this sword to say Longblade, a blade that I am most certainly able to wield with one hand, it's just totally not even comparable. Like, that's if they were on the ground. Like, that's how big of a difference. And then also if we just compare the blades as so, like as you can see, Frostmourne is just a much more like scarier, crazier blade than even Longclaw, the sort of semi-generic, even though it's made of Valyrian steel kind of sword. So I'm always happy to see Frostmourne just hanging, well, not really hanging, just sort of standing on my wall, along with the plaque that it comes with, as Frostmourne always comes with. So yeah, always fun to be wielding this particular blade, but it's just so damn heavy that like to swing it requires literally every single muscle in my body to tense up, because I know I'm going to have to deal with a lot of force of momentum when trying to like play around with this particular sword. So that's Frostmourne. It is still just as heavy, and I am still just as much struggling with just even holding it, especially with my left hand. So yeah, gotta love this particular blade. So that is my sword collection, all 5 of the blades that I have at home at the moment. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. If you like any of these blades, hit that like button, subscribe for more stuff, I guess. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.